Alright, so the Eagles decided to sign speedster John Ross. But does this really answer any depth issues? Plus, there's one breakout candidate for the offense that's about as close to a lock as you can get. And Saquon Barkley may feel like a rookie again, yet his leadership is without a doubt noticeable, while the same can be said for Devin White. So why should he be wearing the green dot, and what changes he made in the locker room? Let's talk about it. But first, let's run it. What's up, guys? Do me a favor and hit that like button because we have the ticket giveaway coming up soon where one subscriber is going to win 2 Eagles regular season tickets of your choice. Now, personally, my choice would be a home game at the Link, but maybe you want to go on the road and watch the Eagles take on, say, Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, which sure, you could do that. However, speaking of the Bengals, there's now somewhat of a chance for a reunion for new Eagles wide receiver John Ross, after the Birds announced they signed the former fastest man in the NFL, therefore replacing DeVonta Parker, a guy who retired for another guy who was retired and is no longer retired, but he's ready to come back.
Coach would have put me in fourth quarter, we'd have been state champions, no doubt. No doubt in my mind.
Alright, I said this previously about Parker, but I wasn't really too high on him. Although I'm probably feeling even less keen on the speedster Ross. Because sure, he's got blazing fast speed and can be a threat to run past most guys on the defense, yet we already know that just because a dude's fast doesn't mean they're going to end up successful. Heck, Jalen Hurts was 0 for 6 with 2 interceptions and 1 drop when targeting Quez Watkins at least 20 yards downfield in Quez's final year, with Watkins having a negative 1.79 EPA per target on those plays. Just for the record, that's like really, really bad on deep balls. Of course, surely Ross can be better than that, but that's not really what we're going for, is it? I mean, barely better than what you had? I mean, I get that Ross was Cincy's former number 9 overall pick due to his speed and potential to break the game wide open, except we're not talking about a season or 2 of uncertainty. Like, this dude did next to nothing in his 4 years with the Bengals, and then after the Giants took a flyer on him in 2021, he registered 11 catches for 224 yards and 1 touchdown. So yeah, not great, and fine, I'll give the Ross supporters a little bit of benefit by the fact that he does have NFL experience, but still, it's been a while, since he hasn't played in an actual NFL game since back with the G-Men in 2021. Now, he has bounced around and signed with the Chiefs last season, but never actually played. Look, I don't know if it's the fact that Eagles did have a lot of reported interest back in 2017 whenever Ross was drafted, but still, I highly doubt that he makes the roster. But who knows, crazier things have happened, and Ross obviously showed enough during his rookie minicamp tryout to have the Eagles end up signing him. Alright, I won't sugarcoat it. The Eagles are thin on outside receivers, so you needed to probably add some depth there, yet my personal preference would still be waiting to potentially trade for someone to take advantage of their surplus. But I am curious, having said that, how many of y'all are actually intrigued by the John Ross signing? It's probably insane, but maybe he's rejuvenated and finds something special like Saquon.
I feel like a rookie again, getting to know everybody in here. Learn the culture, buying into the culture, and like you said, feel like it's home. Finally got into a spot, and I've just been loving it. The culture here is, a lot of guys, not a lot of guys, every guy coming in, buying in, working hard, pushing each other, building, that teamwork, that mindset in the weight room, and then on the field, and also outside, just hanging out with guys, golfing with guys, grabbing food with guys, getting to know each other. That's definitely important for me. It's important for the team, but especially for me because I'm the new guy, or not so much. I guess the rookies are the new guys now. But that's kind of been the culture, creating a culture where we can go on the field, depend on each other, and go out there and try to win as many games as we can.
Let's just say if Saquon's feeling like a rookie again, then everyone can just give up, or at least they should. I mean, I'm not sure that's realistic, but I'd take a 2018 season of 1,300 rushing yards and 11 touchdowns to go along with 91 catches for 721 yards and 4 touchdowns. But yeah, I mean, you're right. We have a lot of mouths to feed in the passing game, so it's very improbable that Saquon gets anywhere close to 91 catches. However, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him go over the 1,300 rushing yards from his rookie season, because when has he had a dominant offensive line like this to run behind? Now, yeah, it's a fair point to bring up that losing the GOAT in Jason Kelce isn't a small thing, except Kelce made sure we were in the right hands before leaving, which is why PFF has Cam Jurgens listed as Philadelphia's breakout candidate, since the move now puts him in his natural position of center, where he can utilize his athleticism and knowledge, and heck, he's had 2 years to learn from Stout, so he's definitely in a good place. And a reminder, something that second-year guard Tyler Steen noticed right away.
Cam does a really good job of just helping not only me, but like everybody in the room. He's really like taking a step as like a vet and being able to, and he has a lot of knowledge, really smart dude. So I think playing next to somebody like that is just gonna naturally make you a smarter, better player.
This might be overconfident to feel this way because, again, I know he hasn't actually done anything, but I have zero doubts about Beef Jerky. Because like PFF said, and I agree, center is what he was born to do. Yet the underlying advantage is that while he was just so-so at guard, at least he's played it, so he understands the responsibilities and demands of the guys next to him even more. But like Howie said, that's not even the biggest takeaway.
Having him be able to study how Jason practices, how Jason leads, how Jason takes notes, instead of saying, man, Cam, you should have seen how Jason Kelce led, how he practiced, how he takes notes. Like, we think that gives him the best potential to reach the ability that he can do, and the same for Jordan and Jalen.
Okay, we're probably not talking about Aaron Rodgers replacing Brett Favre here. I mean, that's pretty slim to have something like that happen. Yet I think seeing Beef Jerky make the Pro Bowl is more than realistic. And then you got the depth behind him with rookie Dylan McMahon. So it's no wonder Saquon Barkley had high praise for the O-line, since he's about to reap the benefits of having Stout's unit blocking for him. Plus, combine that with Kellen Moore's ability to scheme up outside zone and counter plays to never allow the defense to get comfortable, and who knows how many yards Saquon will end up with. Let me just pause for a moment though, because I know that all of us realize you can't get ahead of yourselves, especially talking about something like a dream team. And it's understandably worrisome seeing headlines like the Eagles now field what might be the most expensive offense in NFL history. Of course, while that might be true, it does put a ton of pressure on the squad. But come on, the difference is the mindset of the players. I mean, think about Tyler Steen saying he has to earn the job, not that it's his job to lose, and then also Jalen Hurts saying we basically haven't done anything yet. For real, because honestly, that's echoed throughout the entire team. So I can't imagine the squad coming out and resting on their laurels or ability. At the same time, I mean, they are the most talented offense in the league, but still you have the difference of mindset, and especially guys like Saquon Barkley and Devin White who have brought in that new leadership and accountability to the entire squad. For example, you're constantly seeing those guys front and center in team competitions and drills and whatever else the group is doing. Also, you gotta love the fact that White isn't afraid to show some love to Jalen Carter, letting everyone know a couple weeks ago that the bread man's coming for the rest of the league, which when you think about it is a very scary thought, considering the fact that the 23-year-old was top 10 in pass rush win rate last season. So give JC another year to get in better shape, as he said he's been doing, by the way, and who knows what numbers he'll end up with. Seriously, what kind of numbers do you think Jalen Carter has at the end of the year? And then while we're doing that, I guess, what do you think about Devin White? Because obviously he's been putting in work all offseason, while saying he's got something to prove and show everyone why he's still one of the best in the league. Yet personally, what I love the most is that here you have a Super Bowl champion, All-Pro and Pro Bowler who isn't coming in expecting anything to be handed to him.
Once I get into the defense and learning, you can put me anywhere and I can go play the game of football. Because at the end of the day, it's still football. And I think that's what you bring in coaches like Coach Vic, is to put guys in position to be great. And I think he'll do a great job. But obviously before we even get to that, I got to come here and, prove it to, him that I'm worthy enough to be on the field and I can, be his guy or be one of his guys, whatever the case may be. But, I got to start with that process first before I even get into my role and all that. I got to, show that, I deserve to be on the team and be able to be a playmaker for him.
How great is that? And yes, I do realize he's played poorly the last couple years. But at the same time, this move is phenomenal because you have a guy who knows how to play at a high level and lead a defense. So instead of lacking much of a voice last season, now you have guys like Devin White and C.J. Gardner-Johnson to make sure you feel that Philadelphia Eagles defense.
We've got some grit. We've got some toughness. We want to be able to impose our will. We're not going to take really anything from anybody. And we want to make sure that people feel us.
Sorry, I should not have done that. That might have stirred up something with PTSD, but still, it's like Howie made the right moves, right? I mean, he knew who he was bringing in here. You get guys who have a chip on their shoulder that want to prove something, so now you say, fine, you know what? Go out there and prove it. And even though it's early, just judging by OTAs, White's already headed in that direction, with Andrew DeCecco saying the 26-year-old really caught his attention, as well as others very easily noticing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson bringing a lot more energy to the field. So it's fair to say it was good vibes all around.
Talking about at the bottom, right here, the names of them, right here. Tell y'all my secrets. Okay, yeah. I might want to hide y'all. That man Jay Hurts be so serious. I don't even know if he approve of me having a YouTube, but I'm grown. I'm trying to tell you.
Just to make sure, that was Ainias Smith channel, but it's fun to see Jalen joking around with the rook. And yes, I know Ainias said Jay Hurts is serious, but that's not a bad thing. It's just a blessing to have the variety of leaders and voices in this year's locker room that weren't there last year. Anyway, having said all that, how do you feel about the new guys making impact, and how do you think it translates on the field? Let me know in the comments, and then I'll catch you guys on the live stream where we're going to give away those tickets. This has been the Philly Special.